Hello everyone and welcome. If you have been struggling, if you feel stuck, if you are tired of not improving, then this video is for you. By the time you finish watching, you will no longer feel lost. You will have a clear, powerful, and easy-to-follow method that will take your English to the next level. I promise you, if you follow what I tell you today, you will never struggle with English again. This is not about boring grammar rules. This is not about memorizing thousands of words. This is about learning English the smart way, the easy way, and the way that actually works. So, stay with me till the end, because every second of this video is going to be powerful and valuable. Now, let's get started. Stop translating in your head. Let's start with one of the biggest mistakes English learners make: translating everything in their head. If you are always thinking in your native language and then translating into English, you will always feel slow, stuck, and unsure. This is why you might hesitate when speaking. This is why English doesn't feel natural. But here's the secret. You don't need to translate to understand, and you need to train your brain to think in English directly. How do you do that? You start with simple things. When you wake up in the morning, don't say, "I need to brush my teeth," in your native language. Instead, just say it in English. Look at your toothbrush and say, "I'm brushing my teeth." When you make coffee, say, "I'm making coffee." When you go outside, say, "It's a beautiful day." At first, this will feel strange, but after a few days, you will notice something amazing. You will automatically start thinking in English without even trying. Why is this so important? Because once you stop translating, you will speak faster, more confidently, and more naturally. Your brain will process English the same way native speakers do, without stopping, without overthinking, and without fear. Focus on phrases, not just words. Another huge mistake people make when learning English is memorizing individual words. If you only learn words one by one, you will always struggle to form sentences. You might know the words, but you won't know how to use them correctly. Think about how babies learn language. They don't memorize individual words. They learn chunks of language. Instead of learning the word water, they learn, "Can I have some water?" Instead of just "hello," they learn, "Hey, how's it going?" And that's exactly what you need to do. Instead of memorizing hundreds of separate words, start learning useful phrases that you can use in real life. For example, instead of learning the word appointment, learn appointment. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. Can I schedule an appointment? Instead of just learning hungry, learn, I'm starving. Let's grab something to eat. When you focus on phrases, something amazing happens. You start speaking naturally without struggling to put words together. You will sound more fluent, more confident, and more like a native speaker. Read aloud every day. This tip is a game changer. If you struggle with speaking English, you need to start reading aloud every single day. Here's why. When you read out loud, you are training your mouth, your tongue, and your brain to get used to English. You are building muscle memory. Think about it. When you hear a native speaker talk, they speak fast, smoothly, and naturally. But when you try, it feels slow and unnatural. That's because your mouth is not used to the movements of English. But when you read aloud, you are practicing those movements every day. How should you do it? 1. Pick any book, article, or even a short paragraph. 2. Read it out loud slowly and clearly. 3. Focus on pronunciation and rhythm. 4. Do it for at least 10 minutes every day. At first, it might feel strange, but after a few days, you will notice a huge difference. Your tongue will get used to English sounds, your pronunciation will improve, and your fluency will increase. And the best part? This is one of the fastest ways to train your brain to speak English smoothly. The power of active listening. Most people think listening is passive. They believe if they just hear English every day, they will magically start speaking fluently. But that's not true. There's a huge difference between passive listening and active listening. Passive listening is when you play English in the background while doing other things. Maybe you're listening to an English podcast while cooking or watching a movie without really paying attention. Active listening is when you are 100% focused on what you are hearing. How can you practice? Active listening. Follow these 3 simple steps. Step 1. Choose the right material. Pick something just slightly above your level. If it's too easy, you won't learn. If it's too difficult, you'll get frustrated. A great place to start is with simple podcasts, slow news, or beginner-friendly audiobooks. Step 2. Listen in short sections and repeat. Instead of listening to one long hour of English, take a short section, maybe 1 minute, and listen to it multiple times. First, listen once without subtitles. Just try to understand the general meaning. Second, listen again and try to catch new words. Third, listen one more time and repeat the sentences out loud to copy the pronunciation. Step 3. Write down and use new phrases. Every time you hear a useful phrase, write it down. For example, if you hear, "It's been a long time," write it in your notebook and use it in your daily life. If you hear, "That sounds interesting," say it when talking to someone. This way, you learn phrases naturally instead of just memorizing random words. When you do this every day for 10 to 15 minutes, you will train your ears to understand fast English, and your brain will automatically start thinking in English. The shadowing technique. Do you want to speak English smoothly, confidently, and without hesitation? Then you need to try the shadowing technique. This is one of the best techniques because it forces you to speak faster, more naturally, and without translating. Here's how you do it. 1. Choose a short audio clip, 30 seconds to 1 minute. It can be from a podcast, TV show, YouTube video, or audiobook. 2. Play the audio and repeat what you hear at the same time. 3. Try to match the speaker's speed, tone, and pronunciation. At first, this will be challenging. You will feel like you can't keep up, but don't stop. The more you do it, the faster your brain will process English. After a few weeks, you will notice that when you speak, words come out naturally, and your pronunciation is much clearer. Stop studying grammar the traditional way. Grammar is important, but the way most people learn it is completely wrong. If you spend all your time memorizing grammar rules and doing exercises, you will always struggle to speak fluently. Think about it. When native speakers talk, they don't think about grammar rules. They don't stop to ask, should I use past perfect or past simple? Is this the right preposition? They just speak naturally. So what's the right way to learn grammar? You need to learn grammar in context instead of memorizing rules. Observe how grammar is used in real conversations. For example, if you're watching a movie and hear, "I've been waiting for you," instead of thinking, "Oh, this is present perfect continuous tense," just understand the meaning. How do you practice this? Read stories, articles, and dialogues. Notice how grammar is used naturally. Instead of doing grammar exercises, write short daily journal entries. Use grammar in real conversations instead of just studying it. When you follow this approach, you will learn grammar the way native speakers do, without stress, without memorization, and without hesitation. The 80-20 rule of English learning. This is one of the most powerful rules that will change the way you study English forever. The 80-20 rule means that 80% of your results come from just 20% of your efforts. In English learning, this means you don't need to learn everything. Just focus on the most useful things. Here's how to apply it. 1. Focus on the most common words and phrases. Oh, you don't need to know every word in the dictionary. Oh, learn the 2,000 most common words. These words make up 80% of spoken English. 2. Practice real-life English, not textbook English. Oh, don't waste time on old-fashioned formal sentences that nobody actually uses. Oh, focus on phrases, idioms, and expressions used in daily life. 3. Spend more time speaking and listening, and less time on theory. Oh, instead of studying English for hours, spend more time actually using English, speaking, listening, and writing. When you use the 80-20 rule, you will improve much faster. Learn only what really matters and stop wasting time on things that don't help. Talk to yourself in English. This is one of the best ways to practice speaking, even if you have no one to talk to. How to do it? Just talk to yourself in English throughout the day. When you wake up, today is going to be a great day. When cooking, I'm making pasta. It smells so good. When walking outside, the weather is nice today. I love the fresh air. At first, this may feel strange, but it will train your brain to think in English automatically. And the best part? You don't need a partner. You can practice anytime, anywhere. If you do this every day, you will become so comfortable with English that speaking will feel completely natural. The describe your day method. One of the biggest mistakes English learners make is only practicing English when they are studying. But here's the truth. English should be part of your daily life, not just something you study for 1 hour a day. The best way to do this? Describe your day in English, out loud or in writing. Why is this method so powerful? It forces you to think in English. It improves your vocabulary for everyday situations. It helps you practice without needing a partner. How to do it? Step 1. Talk about your day. Even if you're alone, just speak out loud to yourself. For example, as soon as you wake up, I just woke up. I feel a little tired, but I have a lot to do today. When making coffee. I'm making coffee now. It smells so good. I love starting my day with coffee. If you do this every single day, your brain will start thinking in English naturally. Step 2. Write a daily journal in English. At the end of the day, take 5 to 10 minutes and write about your day in a notebook or on your phone. For example, today was a busy day. I went to work in the morning and had an important meeting. In the evening, I watched a movie with my family. At first, you might make mistakes, but don't worry. The goal is to express yourself in English, not to be perfect. Step 3. Add more details. Once you feel comfortable, start adding more details every day. Improve your English fluency with these powerful techniques. Describe your day in English. Today, I went shopping and bought a new pair of shoes. They were a little expensive, but I really liked them. The store was very crowded, and I had to wait in line for a long time. Why is this method so powerful? Because you are using English to talk about your own life. This makes it much more natural and effective than just studying random words and grammar rules. If you do this every day, you will see huge improvements in your vocabulary, confidence, and fluency. The question and answer trick. Have you ever had a conversation in English and suddenly didn't know what to say next? This happens to most learners. They know some English but struggle to continue conversations. Here's how to fix it. Step 1. Add a question at the end. Instead of just saying, I love traveling, say, I love traveling. What about you? Have you traveled anywhere recently? This keeps the conversation flowing smoothly. Step 2. Practice answering common questions in detail. Instead of saying, I work as a teacher, say, check mark. I work as a teacher. I teach English to high school students, and I really enjoy it. I started teaching 5 years ago, and it has been an amazing experience. Why does this work? It trains your brain to give longer, more natural answers. It helps you never feel stuck in a conversation. Practice this every day. Think of a question, answer it in detail, and then add another question. After a few weeks, your conversations will become longer, more interesting, and completely natural. Copy and transform. A smarter way to learn English. Most people try to learn English by memorizing sentences, but this is not the best way. A better way is to copy and transform. How it works. 1. Find a sentence to copy. Example. I had a great weekend. I went to the beach with my friends. 2. Transform it to fit your own life. Instead of memorizing it, change it slightly to talk about yourself. Check mark. I had a great weekend. I went to the park with my family. 3. Repeat this every day. Every time you learn a new sentence, change it and use it in your own life. Why does this work? You learn real English naturally instead of memorizing random phrases. You speak faster and more fluently without thinking too much. If you do this every day, your English will improve faster than you ever imagined. Learn English through emotions. Have you ever noticed that you never forget emotional experiences? For example, you might forget what you studied last week, but you never forget a funny joke or an emotional story. This is because our brain remembers things better when emotions are involved. Step 1. Watch emotional movies or TV shows. If a scene is funny, laugh. If a scene is sad, feel it. If a scene is exciting, enjoy the moment. When you connect emotions with English, you will remember new words instantly. Step 2. Use stories instead of word lists. Instead of memorizing words like happy, excited, learn them in a sentence with emotion. I was so excited when I got my dream job. She was so happy when she saw her best friend after 5 years. By doing this, you will never forget words again. Stop translating in your head. If you always translate in your head before speaking, you will never become fluent. The key to fluency is to think directly in English. How to do this? 1. Describe things in English instead of translating If you don't know a word, don't translate it into your native language. Instead, describe it in English. Forget the word pillow. Say, it's something soft that I sleep on. 2. Talk to yourself in English, throughout the day. Describe things and express your thoughts without translating. If you do this daily, you will start thinking in English naturally and speak fluently without hesitation. Master the art of paraphrasing. One of the biggest signs of fluency is the ability to express the same idea in multiple ways. Think about native speakers. They rarely repeat the exact same sentence every time they speak. Instead, they paraphrase, using different words to say the same thing. Why is this skill important? It allows you to communicate even when you don't know the exact word. It makes you sound more fluent, confident, and natural. How to practice. Paraphrasing. Take a simple sentence. I am very tired. Now say it in 3 different ways. I'm exhausted. I feel drained. I'm completely worn out. Another great method. Listen to native speakers and notice how they express the same ideas in different ways. If you do this every day, your ability to paraphrase will improve, and you'll feel much more confident in conversations. Learn to pause. Naturally. Most English learners believe that speaking fluently means speaking quickly without stopping. But in reality, even native speakers pause while speaking. Why are pauses important? They help you think before you speak. They allow you to organize your thoughts. They reduce mistakes and nervousness. If you try to speak too fast, you will make more errors, feel nervous, lose confidence. But if you learn to pause naturally, you will sound more confident, more relaxed, more fluent. How to practice this? Listen to native speakers in interviews and speeches. Notice how they pause when speaking. Final thoughts. If you follow these techniques every day, your English will improve faster than ever. Talk to yourself in English. Use the question and answer trick. Copy and transform real English sentences. Learn English through emotions. Stop translating in your head. Master the art of paraphrasing. Learn to pause naturally. Start practicing today, and in a few months, you'll be speaking English with confidence and fluency. Pause naturally to sound more fluent. Many English learners believe that fluency means speaking quickly without stopping, but even native speakers pause naturally while speaking. Why are pauses important? They help you think before you speak. They allow you to organize your thoughts. They reduce mistakes and nervousness. For example, instead of saying, "I went to the store, bought some bread and milk, then I came home and watched a movie," a native speaker would naturally pause like this. "I went to the store, bought some bread and milk, then I came home and watched a movie." How to practice natural pauses? 1. Read aloud and mark places where you should pause. 2. Record yourself speaking and listen back. Ask yourself, "Oh, do I sound rushed? Oh, do I sound natural? Oh, do my pauses make sense?" When you master this skill, you will immediately sound more fluent and professional, even if your vocabulary is limited. Use speaking frames for automatic fluency. Many learners struggle with speaking because they don't have pre-built sentence structures in their minds. Native speakers don't think about every single word while speaking. They use automatic patterns, called speaking frames, that help them speak smoothly. Examples of speaking frames. That reminds me of. To connect an idea. To be honest, I think. To express an opinion. The way I see it. To give a perspective. I've never thought about it before, but to answer difficult questions. One of the best things about. To describe something positively. For example, if someone asks, "What do you think about social media?" Instead of struggling to find words, you can use a speaking frame. To be honest, I think social media is useful, but it also has some negative effects. How to learn speaking frames. Listen to native speakers and note common phrases. Write down useful sentence patterns and practice them. Use these frames in daily conversations until they become automatic. With practice, you will sound fluent without even thinking. Create mental images for every word. A big problem with learning new vocabulary is forgetting words after a few days. This happens because most learners try to remember words by only reading or writing them, but the brain remembers best through strong images and experiences. How to use mental images? Instead of writing gigantic, checked, very big, create a strong mental picture. Imagine a gigantic elephant standing in a small room, breaking everything around it. For abstract words like motivation, imagine standing on a stage, giving an inspiring speech while thousands of people cheer for you. How to practice this technique. 1. Take a list of words you want to learn. 2. Create a strong mental image for each word. 3. Draw small pictures in your notebook. 4. Describe the image out loud. If you do this consistently, you will never forget new words again. Learning English will become fun and effective. Learn faster by explaining what you know. One of the fastest ways to master English is not just to learn new things, but to explain them to someone else. Why is teaching so powerful? It forces you to organize information clearly. It helps you remember things better. You understand concepts deeply instead of just memorizing. How to practice. After learning a new grammar rule, explain it in your own words. Example, instead of saying since is for a point in time and for is for a duration, say we use since when talking about when something started, like I have lived here since 2020. But we use for when talking about how long something has happened, like I have lived here for 3 years. Ways to practice. Explaining. 1. Record yourself explaining a concept. 2. Write it down in simple terms. 3. Join online study groups and help others. The more you teach, the better you understand. The power of storytelling in language learning. Most people try to learn English by memorizing lists of words and grammar rules, but the human brain learns best through stories, not lists. Think about it. You remember an interesting story for years, but you forget a vocabulary list in days. How to use storytelling to learn English. 1. Connect new words to a personal story. Instead of memorizing adventure or an exciting experience, create a short story. Last summer, I went on an adventure with my best friend. We climbed a mountain and got lost in the forest. 2. Practice telling short stories in English. Every night, tell yourself a quick story about your day. Today, I woke up late but still made it to work on time. My boss was happy with my work, so I felt really good. This helps you practice past tense structures and fluency at the same time. 3. Listen to English stories every day. Audiobooks, podcasts, short stories on YouTube. The more stories you hear, the more natural English will feel to you. Final tips to master English. Faster pause naturally when speaking. Use speaking frames to build fluency. Create mental images for new words. Teach and explain concepts to remember them better. Use storytelling to make learning fun and effective. If you practice these techniques every day, your English will improve faster than ever. Make learning English fun, engaging, and incredibly effective. Be consistent. The key to fast learning. Most people think learning English fast means studying for hours every day. But the truth is, consistency is more important than intensity. Studying 10 minutes every day is more effective than studying 5 hours once a week. Why? Because the brain learns best with small, regular practice over time. Think of learning English like exercising. If you go to the gym once a month and lift heavy weights for 5 hours, you won't get strong. But if you exercise for 30 minutes every day, you'll become fit over time. The same rule applies to learning English. Create a simple daily English routine. To stay consistent, build a daily English habit that fits into your life. Example: routine takes less than 30 minutes. Morning: listen to a short English podcast while drinking coffee. Afternoon: read one page of an English book or article. Evening: practice speaking for 5 minutes using a mirror or shadowing. If you do this every day, your English will improve dramatically in just a few months. Make English a normal part of your life. Watch movies in English. Listen to English music. Play word games. Follow interesting content in English. When learning feels fun, it never feels like work. Stay motivated. Make English an adventure. Many learners start with excitement, but after a few months, they lose motivation. The secret to long-term fluency? Make English a natural and enjoyable part of your life. Find your reason to learn English. Ask yourself, why do I want to learn English? For travel, for work, to make new friends, for personal growth? When you have a strong reason, you'll stay committed even when learning feels hard. Turn learning into a game, make English fun. Watch movies, listen to music, follow YouTubers or podcasts you enjoy, play word games. When learning is enjoyable, you will never feel bored or tired. Track your progress and stay inspired. Many people quit because they don't see progress, but real improvement happens slowly. How to see your growth. Keep a journal of new words you learn. Record yourself speaking every month. Celebrate small victories, like understanding a movie without subtitles. Seeing how far you've come will keep you motivated. Final secret: never stop learning. English fluency is not a destination. It's a journey. Even native speakers continue learning new words and improving their skills. Enjoy the process. Keep practicing. One day, you will speak English fluently, confidently, and effortlessly. If you found this helpful, make sure to like and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new video. See you next time.